Well, the United Arab Emirates, UAE, has lifted its visa ban imposed on Nigerian travelers. Now, this decision was reached after President Bola Tinubu met with Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, a UAE president, in Abu Dhabi on Monday. During Galali, the presidential spokesperson said in a statement that Etihad Airlines and Emirates Airlines are to immediately resume flight schedules into and out of Nigeria without any further delay, as negotiations negotiated between the two heads of state. Now, this immediate restoration of flight activities through these two airlines and between the two countries does not involve any immediate payment by the Nigerian government. Well, Cyril Abaku is still with me in the studio, and we're still talking about this. Now, Cyril, what do you have to say about the visa ban being lifted?
I think it's a good development. It's a welcome development for Nigerian aviation, for our economy, for businessmen and women. I'm not sure that the past administration handled this matter with sufficient tact and diplomacy and strategy and wisdom. We didn't do that. We didn't deploy our best, the best of our minds in dealing with it. But it's good that we've gone to seek for detente with the UAE. You see, because we needed them.
So we went to seek them out.
We went to seek them out. A man in need who doesn't know that he's in need must be will die from a diet of pride. He will starve and die. But it's good our president has gone there, and this is a masterstroke in statecraft and diplomacy. That the one on the first day he went there, and the matter, within hours the matter was resolved. It is either the UAE we are also waiting for us to come, and they were just eager for us to come. Maybe they had wanted to come too, but since the president went to them, they just quickly, all that did underground that this discussion had been going on, and we needed the appearance of the president to give bite, to give a face to so that the president flying back to Nigeria will be flying back with good news, to cheers, and perhaps it was all arranged. But what matters for us is that yes, there was a problem. Now it's been resolved, and the beneficiaries are Nigerians themselves, because Nigerians fly to the UAE a lot more than they come here. Dubai is in the UAE. We need them for business, for leisure, for pleasure, for a lot of things. We go there a lot, and so for shopping. So I wonder why we allowed the matter to fester for this long.
Almost a year.
But it's good that the president went there, held this, and the fact that no monetary whatever was even on the table is quite an applause for Nigeria. Nigerian Airways can always, Nigerian Airlines can fly now, fly to Dubai to.
Can they really fly? Because this is another thing. Now, the president's spokesperson made this statement, but I had to visit the website of the official newspaper in the UAE,
Yeah.
and there was nothing said when that report was put out there. There was nothing alluded to the fact that ban on flights was lifted. There was nothing. Well, I hope maybe in the course of the program we'll be able to have a copy of the document that was put out on the official website. Nothing to that regard was said at all in the document. It just talked about Nigerian president visiting the president of the UAE, and they are in talks to work together. All right, talking about moving, how both countries can do things that will be mutually beneficial to the two of them. Nothing was said about flight ban. Meanwhile, right after that meeting, there was a publication on that same site that talked about Armenia having been given free visa entry into the UAE. Citizens of Armenia. Now, that was published on their site. Look, citizens of Armenia right now can enter the UAE All right. Well, unfortunately, we might not have the time to go through this and scroll to the point where things were really talked about. But we'll probably put this up much later. But nothing was said. Something was said about Armenia being given visa free entry into the UAE if you're coming to stay for 90 days. But nothing was said about the flight, the lifting of flight of a visa ban on Nigerians. Nothing was said about the freedom of flights to go in and out of the UAE and Nigeria. Nothing was said in that regard.
Yeah, well, so without holding forth for the presidency or even for authorities in the UAE, my personal thinking is this: perhaps since it's a state-owned newspaper, there may be a protocol by which the State House gets authorizes news to be carried. But for the Nigerian presidency to come out and tell us boldly that this is a matter of global cooperation and that indeed Nigeria and the UAE have sorted the matter out, I want to believe that. I mean, this is the presidency talking, except they're banning fake speech. Neither has the UAE also said that we've not know what the president of Nigeria said was not true. We have not. They've not also said that. So hopefully, maybe we'll give them a few more days. But I do see that indeed I mean, even yesterday, the president's spokesman came out to say no. We've reached that agreement. I think it's when we don't see Air Peace, United Nigeria, what are the names now?
Emirates Airlines.
No, not just. I mean, our own people.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe Dana and so on are not able to fly to. Then we can say, hello, what's going on? But I do think that for the Nigerian president to have come up clearly to say this has happened. I know yesterday some local dailies are beginning to say, some national dailies are beginning to say, but the UAE has not said anything about it. Well, it's fine, but we have said something about it because we are confident and because we had that discussion with them. And neither have they also said they have not reached the deal with us. So hopefully we'll give it a few more days and see how.
We'll give it a few more days.
It's not immediate. Well, the way to look at it is that in principle something is in place. All right? Yes, but so of course for example, for Emirates to even come to Nigeria and fly, for Emirates Airlines to come to Nigeria and fly back, you do paperwork, right? I mean, yeah, so however long that takes. But it's good that, like I said, this matter has been, I believe, resolved. The president left India and instead of coming to Nigeria, took a detour to the UAE to sort this matter out, and they said it's been sorted. From everything we saw in the pictures, I think they had a good conversation. The president's spokesman was there, and Nigeria's authority to say that this matter has been resolved. So I think.
Okay. Now, one of the reasons the UAE gave for flight restrictions was COVID-19. COVID-19 has since been, not arrested, but restrictions the world over has been lifted, and countries can, travel and do business. But another reason was the repatriation of
funds,
dollars
from Nigeria.
Via, when they do their flights and everything, taking dollars back. Will they agree to continue flying without concrete talk on repatriating dollars back to the UAE? Do you think that's something that would have been reached? That agreement would have been reached without such concrete, agreement?
It couldn't have been reached. And it's not just Emirates Airlines. A lot of foreign airlines operating in Nigeria began to complain, I think it was towards the end of the Buhari administration, that their monies were tied down. That's not correct. And I hope that somebody didn't tie it down and was making interest on it. Okay? Because that also should be investigated. And in fact, we need to know why those monies were tied down in the first place. Why were they tied down? What was the purpose? What was the purpose and basis of that tying down of their monies in the Nigerian economy? Not just Emirates, like I said. A lot of the foreign airlines operating in Nigeria had a challenge. So we need to know why. But the president, who is in town now, I think, He's business minded.
He's in town. Yes, yes, he is in town.
Minded, and he's interested in making sure that things work in Nigeria. He's interested in securing business deals for the country. I mean, if you can't resolve these sort of things, how then do you assure other investors that this is the best place for them to put their money down? And so it's important the president has gone there, and this deal is in place. They can start flying again, really.
All right.
They can come back.
Let's put up that report now. Let's put that report up. Let's just read an excerpt of it, if you can. Let's put it up. The second page actually, where we have this. It's reported that during the meeting, which took place at Qasr Al Shati in Abu Dhabi, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed renewed his congratulations to Tinubu on assuming the presidency earlier this year and wished him every success in leading Nigeria and its people to further progress and prosperity. Now, he said, His Highness, yes, that's it, His Highness expressed his hope that the two leaders will work together to reinforce ties between the UAE and Nigeria for the benefit of both countries. Now, it says the UAE president and Nigerian president explored opportunities for further bilateral collaboration in areas that serve both countries' sustainable economic growth, including economic development, energy, and climate action fields. Now, that's basically, what was said. That's basically it. We'll probably put up more on our page on YouTube for our viewers to, read and digest. But that's basically, collaboration. We will work together.
They were silent. They were silent.
Yes, they were.
On the.
Doesn't that trouble you?
It's troubling, actually. It's troubling, actually. But like I said, except Nigeria is trying to twist them into coming out to say. But the UAE, like I said, has also not said that deal was not reached. So let's give it some more time and see what comes out. Let's hope that this was just what they put out on in the statement, but that in reality, the question, the matter of whether Nigerians can fly to UAE or UAE can fly to Nigeria has been settled. We can only give it time and see what comes out of it. But the way the Nigerian government put it out and has been emphasizing and stressing that, look, this matter was we settled and discussed, and we can only hope that it's true.
It's not half truth.
It's not half truth, and that it's the matter as it happened. I've always said that on foreign affairs, on foreign matters, you cannot be publicly seen to be standing against your government, against your country. It's in your national interest to believe that indeed. What we've done is our best foot forward. You remember that even with the case in Niger, I said the president was right. I believe he was right anyway, to have said we needed to use force to go and oust the junta, although that wasn't to be. But in this case also, we can see that, of course, but what else should we have come to tell ourselves? That we cannot fly to the UAE and the UAE can't fly here. We want to go there, okay? They are losing money. So if they've gotten assurance that the bottlenecks in the, what's it called, in their business to in and out of Nigeria have been taken away, I have no reason not to believe that they will fly, that this matter will be settled. I suspect, this is my suspicion, I suspect that what I said earlier is what perhaps this matter, I don't see how the president flew to the UAE and within hours the matter was resolved. I think there had been
talks on the ground, probably.
Perhaps, and they've secured the nod. Perhaps during the discussion, the president didn't specifically come up, but they know that this matter has been resolved. The UAE should now, before the end of this week, come out clean and tell us what exactly the other side of the story is. But I do believe that the matter of the...
But is it up to them? Is it up to them to tell us that?
No, to confirm.
It's up to them to tell their people that, not to tell us.
Well, I mean, when they talk to them, in light of this argument we have, well, I mean, the suspicion or the worry, it will be talking to us also,
okay,
because it pertains to us. It's a bilateral issue. I am of the opinion that the UAE authorities, the Emirate authorities, will issue the will come clear on the matter. So that way, the questions that are arising out of suspicion will be put to bed. And of course, they have a huge market in Nigeria. Who wouldn't like that? Especially because the matters that led to the disruption of flights between both countries was not necessarily some criminal infraction or some dispute over airspace breach. It's basically administrative, if you ask me. So these are matters that can be resolved. That's why I said the people who created the problem didn't apply enough tact and diplomacy in dealing with the issue. But hopefully, none of the parties stands to gain anything really by continuing the standoff. So it's good that it's resolved. And
all right. So now, what are the things that we hope to achieve in doing business with the UK? Let's look at the UAE. I beg your pardon. Thank you for that. We hear that the government is talking to the UAE to look at. They are coming to invest in defense, agriculture. Defense and agriculture. My question is, what can UAE do for Nigeria in the area of defense and agriculture?
No, there's a lot. You see, it's like South Korea, where, unfortunately,
there's a lot.
A whole lot.
But we have more arable land here.
No, we have a whole lot. If they had the land we have here, do you know what the UAE would have become today? It's like South Korea. Permit me to just
and defense
to take a detour. I will explain to you why.
Go ahead, please.
Like South Korea, they don't have oil. They have no oil. They have no water. But they refine oil and we buy from them. They have no water, but they buy from Malaysia, whatever it is, processed and then send back to Malaysia for Malaysians to buy. Moses, Nigeria is in a very bad place. These Emirati people may not even need the weapons that they produce. Or whatever, but they can produce for us because they have what it takes to produce. They may not need it because I can't remember the last time I heard that the Emirati people are going to war with anybody.
But you know the saying, he that wants peace should prepare for war.
No, fine. So, but that's the level of excellence and their level of production is so good, is so high that it will pay you to ask them for help if you need their help. They have it, even if they're not going to use it, they have it. Like South Korea, they produce the cars that they don't even need, and then sell them back, and then you need them, so you buy from them. Now, particularly in the Emirati case, I think what we need to the most we can do from the UAE is not to ask for the help, is to copy what they have done. Why are they so prosperous? Is to copy what they've done. Why are they so prosperous? Why? People leave Paris, leave France, and go to Dubai to buy fashion accessories produced in Paris. In Dubai. People leave Japan, leave all these countries, travel to the UAE to buy what was produced in their countries, in Dubai. Something must be working for them. Can we copy the economic model? The president is looking for investors. When he can sit down and say, for the next 20 years, anybody coming to invest in Nollywood, 20-year tax relief for you, no taxes. Anybody coming to invest in mineral resources, no taxes. Anybody, tell me what's going to happen next. Before we
there'll be an influx, of course.
There'll be an influx of people coming. Tell them the only thing you must do is that you must pay our people well, and you must not make your money and take the money back to your country. You must, or at most, if you make any profit, you can only take half of the profit to your country. You must reinvest we won't tax you, but reinvest the money in our country. What are they going to do, brother? They will rush here. They will rush here. We're not willing to do that. I'm telling you, not only will they rush here, they will rush here and even tell you that they can pay. What the Wagner is not the only defense contractors in the world. There are many defense groups. They will even pay contractors who will come and flush Boko Haram out for you. They will do it. These solutions are not far-fetched. When you're not ready to wake up as a country, we want to go to India, look for investors who will give us $14 billion. When two civil servants alone are stealing $100 billion from your country, $14 billion, and we should shout. When Nigerian civil servants sit back, ministers and governors sit back and steal tens of billions, we are clapping for the fact that Indian people give us $14 billion. What is that to the thief in the Nigerian public sector? So let's wake up and do what civilized countries do.
All right then.
How many times does Dubai go around the world begging for investors to come? They sat down, they looked at their country, they mapped out the development, and they pursued it aggressively. Are we doing same? Other than to broaden the tax net, are we doing the same? Are we doing the same thing? So I have my concerns for I have my concerns about some of these things. Let's not just go to any country and tell them to come. Let's learn what they have done
and try to.
How is it working for you?
Here.
And bring it home.
All right. Yeah. Well, I think this is how far we can stretch this show. Let's anchor here now. Let's just get your final thoughts, Cyril.
My final thoughts on both the Hyundai investigation and the flight ban lifting by Dubai is the fact that every society should be open to learn, open to new ideas. The right of citizens should be respected, and specifically, we should be a country that is open to the inflow of ideas, open for business, open for everything that it will require for us to become a great nation. Until we're that open, we won't go very far. Hyundai is, because of democracy, Hyundai is able to explore that space to go and investigate the president. He's free to do so. Are we that open for people to also come in and do business? The president that wants to reopen the corridor to UAE to say fly in and fly out. We want to do business with you. So we should remain open to ideas, remain open to the fact that the state is greater than individuals, and not individuals greater than the state. I think that such openness will be required going forward for a very long time for us to continue to explore and do great things and become the country that we were meant to be.
All right then. Thank you very much, Cyril Abaku, VOP, social affairs and political affairs commentator. We appreciate you for your time.
My pleasure.
Let's quickly take business, and then we will go into entertainment and sports. In the world of business now, the Acting Comptroller General of the Nigeria Customs Service, Adewale Adeni, has announced that Nigerian importers will soon be able to clear their goods from the ports in Cotonou, Benin Republic. Now, he disclosed this in Abuja at the end of a 2-day working visit by the Director General and senior officials of the Customs Service of Benin Republic. Customs personnel from both countries entered into various agreements during the 2-day meeting in order to boost trade relations between Nigeria and Benin Republic, as well as curb smuggling. Adewale disclosed that the partnership between both nations would enhance customs administration, trade facilitation, and regional cooperation. All right, so away from that business story to another right now. Labor experts are concerned about the high rate of informal employment in the country, which may result in significant tax revenue losses for the government. Now, reacting to the National Bureau of Statistics report that stated that 92.6% of individuals employed in Nigeria were involved in informal work in the first quarter of 2023, the labor experts called on the government to formulate policies to migrate more Nigerians to formal employment. The National Assistant General Secretary of Nigeria Labour Congress, Chris Onyeka, told journalists that having informal employment in the country as high as 92% was an indictment on the government. According to him, if NBS is saying 92% is employed in the informal sector, it means that only 8% have formal employment. Onyeka added that there was a need for the NBS to improve public perception of its data, because if people do not believe the data they are releasing to Nigerians, it becomes useless. All right, so those are the business stories that we have for you this morning. More in our business program. We'll take a break now. When we come back, we will continue with the rest of the program. Stay with us.